for your good work. In March, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota indicted 11 people after federal law enforcement, state, local partners worked together. As you know from the horrible tragedy this last week in Minnesota, we have a good team of law enforcement that work well together across the board. They broke up a Mexican drug cartel trafficking ring that smuggled large amounts of meth from Mexico to the Twin Cities, in addition to drug trafficking. They also were charged with kidnapping people in the Twin Cities who owed them money. From my past experience for 8 years as the DA for Hennepin County, which is the largest county in our state, where the murders occurred actually this last week, I know how important to have that coordination. And Mr. Allen, could you talk about how we can create better coordination between agencies, lessons learned over the last few years?
No, happy to, ma'am. DEA, historically, speaking for DEA, I can say that we historically participate in a lot of task forces. As a matter of fact, in the Los Angeles Field Division, probably two of our most productive groups, enforcement groups, are task force groups. They consistently lead the division in seizures and arrests and prosecutions. And I think that speaks to the ability of task force environment to get things done. I think it speaks to the benefits of information sharing, of working with our partners, and we plan on to continue doing that, especially with the formation of these Homeland Security task forces. As I said before, this is probably the biggest, collaboration that I've seen in my career in attacking this problem.
Mr. Stevens, I actually went to Mexico once with some other senators and Cindy McCain on the topic of human trafficking and some of the relationships with the cartels on that front. In 2023, the president signed my bill with Senator Cornyn to support survivors of trafficking. And of course, your agency plays an important role in combating human trafficking. There have been numerous reports of Mexican drug cartels turning to human trafficking as another illicit revenue stream. Could you talk about that connection with the transnational cartels and human trafficking?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your question. I'd like to extend our condolences and thoughts and prayers to you and your community up there. That was extremely unfortunate and heartbreaking. HSI has the Center for Countering Human Trafficking that exists here and is supported by teams that cover over sex trafficking as well as labor trafficking. They support HSI investigations and other investigations around the country. Obviously, we've seen gangs and cartels they use and they focus on sex trafficking as a revenue stream for their criminal activity. We've seen that in our TDA cases. We've seen that in our MS-13 cases, where they traffic individuals that have come into the country and are vulnerable and exploitable, and we're continuing investigating those. In fact, we have 43 indictments against Tren de Agua as well as the Anti-Tren currently that we've been able to put out, and correction, that'd be 34 indictments on those organizations for sex trafficking.
Really appreciate it. And Mr. Perez, again, at the FBI played a major role in tracking this killer, and I want to thank your agency for that. And I just had a question about Mexican drug cartels profiting off of arms trafficking, kind of similar to the human trafficking, and using that flow of money and firepower to expand their enterprises. Could you comment on that?
Yes, ma'am. As I commented before, our focus is on the cartels, on the individuals. We're not tied to one specific unique violation, if you will. The cartels, our adversaries are not. They're not tied to one region. They're not tied to one location or one violation, which is why we believe in that task force concept, where maybe there's a lot of things that the FBI can do. There's a lot of things that HSI can do. There's a lot of things that DEA can do, our state and local partners as well. Any success I've ever had working cases or leading teams in the FBI has been directly attributable to task forces, state, local, federal partners. So again, we look at that polycriminal type of angle, and we address that by bringing in different resources. So we work closely with the ATF as part of the HSTF, and even historically, again, with DEA. So really the goal there, ma'am, as just occurred recently in your hometown, in that unfortunate case, that case was worked in a very collaborative sense.
I know, yes.
We leveraged state resources, federal resources to lead to whatever the most effective result is to bring closure to that.
Thank you. Thank you. And Senator Grassley, just one very quick question near and dear to both your hearts on social media, just 10-second answer here. Mr. Allen, 1/3 of drug cases had direct ties to social media. Do cartels use social media to traffic narcotics around the country?
Yes, ma'am. Cartels
you.
are involved in that.
Thank you.
Senator Blackburn.
Thank you so much.